When the sun rose on Sunday morning, Tom had to get up earlier than usual. After breakfast, he had to memorize 5 verses before going to church. His brother Sid had already finished his Sunday studying, but Tom hadn't yet. Anyway, Tom did not like Sundays, nor did he like going to church on Sunday. He had to take a bath early and study the Bible. He also had to wear special Sunday clothes. He did not like to wear shoes either. Mary, Aunt Polly's daughter, helped Tom learn the Bible verses. Later, Mary gave Tom a knife for studying so well. Actually, he didn't need a knife, but he was delighted to receive a prize. This morning, Tom learned 5 short verses by heart without knowing what they meant. Tom was able to say the verses without looking at the Bible. When studying was finished, Mary helped Tom wash his face and hands. Mary also helped him get dressed. Tom wanted her to forget his shoes, but she did not. Now Tom looked very handsome, and everybody was ready to go to church. When they arrived, Aunt Polly, Mary, and Sid entered the church. Tom stood in front of the church door, waiting for his friends. He was collecting tickets from them. Sunday school had a very good system. Any child who had memorized 2,000 verses was given a Bible as a prize. A child was given a blue ticket if he had memorized 2 verses. With 10 blue tickets, he could have 1 red ticket. With 10 red tickets, he could have 1 yellow ticket. With 10 yellow tickets, he would receive a Bible in front of many people in church. In order to win a Bible, a child had to learn 10,000 verses. Tom said to Bill, "Do you have any tickets? I will buy them from you." Bill said, "Yes, I do. What will you pay for them?" Tom said, "How about a piece of broken glass?" Bill said, "Let me see it. Okay." Then Tom said hello to Jane. Tom said, "Hello, Jane. You look happy today. Do you have tickets?" Jane said, "Yes, I do. I have 10 blue tickets and 1 yellow ticket." "Will you sell them to me?" "I will give you a nice pen and a pretty doll." Jane said, "Yes, I will." Tom met many boys and girls. He paid them, and he bought more tickets to receive a Bible. Tom had become very rich by letting his friends paint the fence on Saturday. Now he was buying tickets with the gifts he had received from his friends. Tom stopped all the boys and gave them other things for blue, red, or yellow tickets until he had enough to receive a Bible. When he bought enough tickets for a Bible, he walked into the church proudly. He took a seat somewhere in the back row. The Sunday school teacher said to the class, "Now, boys and girls, sit up straight and listen. That's what good boys and girls should do." While the teacher was talking, 2 men, a lady, and a young girl entered the class. One man was Mr. Thatcher. The other was his brother, the famous Judge Thatcher. Judge Thatcher had traveled, seen the world, and lived in a large town 12 miles away. The lady was the judge's wife, and the young girl was the beautiful girl Tom had seen the day before. Tom was delighted. He began hitting other boys, pulling their hair, and doing everything to make the girl look at him. Judge Thatcher and his family were taken to the front of the room. The teacher asked Judge Thatcher to give a Bible to a child who had enough tickets. "Does anyone have enough tickets to receive a Bible?" asked the teacher. There was no response. The teacher said again, "Is there anyone who memorized 2,000 verses?" Tom stood up and shouted, "Yes, I did." Everybody in Sunday school was quite surprised. They couldn't believe what they had heard. Everybody looked at Tom. Actually, Tom had learned only 20 or 30 verses, but he had the tickets in his hands. Tom had 9 yellow tickets, 9 red tickets, and 10 blue tickets. Tom showed the tickets to the Sunday school teacher. The teacher counted them and said, "Yes, he has enough tickets to win a Bible." The Sunday school teacher said, "Tom, please come forward and stand by the seat of honor beside the judge." The other boys were very angry. They knew that Tom had bought the tickets from them with the things they had given him for painting the fence. Now they knew what fools they had been. There was nothing anyone could do about it. The judge put his hands on Tom's head. "What is your name, young man?" "Tom," Tom said. He could barely speak. "Tom, is that all?" said the judge. "Thomas." "Thomas, what is your family name?" "Sawyer. Thomas Sawyer, sir." "Thomas Sawyer, that is a fine name. And you are a fine young man." Tom looked at Becky to see if she was listening. 2,000 verses, the judge said, is a great many. You must have studied hard to learn the verses. Learning makes a good man and a great man. I'm sure you will be a great man someday. You will remember this day, too. Tom was so happy that he felt like crying. He did not want the Bible. What he wanted was the experience of receiving a Bible before many people. This was the first time that Tom had ever felt so proud of himself. The judge praised Tom and said to the class, "I love anyone who is eager to learn. I hope all of you will be like this fine young man." The judge continued to say, "Before presenting a Bible to Tom, I would like to ask him a question about what he has learned from the Bible." Tom's face turned as red as an apple. He looked up and down. He could not refuse to answer the question. "Perhaps you know the names of 2 followers of Jesus Christ." Tom kept quiet because he could not answer the question. He could not understand the question at all. At this dark moment, Tom looked at the new girl again. Sunday school teacher said, "Answer the question, Tom. It is a very easy question. Tell the gentleman and everybody the names of 2 followers of Jesus Christ. What are the 2 names, Tom?" Tom's face became redder and redder. Tom thought and thought, but he could not answer the question. The teacher knew that Tom could not answer the question, and he felt that he should say something. The Sunday school teacher said, "Answer the judge, Tom. What are the names of 2 followers of Jesus Christ?" Tom knew only 2 names from the Bible, but he did not know who they were and what they did. He could remember the 2 names easily because they almost always were used together. "David and Goliath," Tom shouted. David and Goliath, as some Christians know, lived many, many years before Jesus Christ was born. Goliath was a giant, and David was a small boy who killed him with a slingshot. Let's be kind enough to look away from the scene of Tom at Sunday school.